What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Zero Excuses podcast. My name is Kenyon Ziska. If this is your first time joining in, thank you for tuning in. If you're a long-time listener, been with me from the start, appreciate your loyal listening. But today what I wanted to chat with you guys about real quick is going deep. And what I mean by that is in this day and age, we tend to get distracted real easy. We tend to go for the new shiny object that's right in front of us, but we never see things through till the end. And I see a lot of people that are swinging from vine to vine, trying to make something work, and we never fully commit to going all in on a few things. And the saying that pops into my mind when I'm talking about all this is discerning the vital few from the trivial many. The book Essentialism has had a huge impact on my life, and I'm proud to say that I've had Greg McKeown, the author, on the show to go in depth on that. And it's definitely an episode you should go back and listen to. I'll link that up in the show notes. But anyways, I'm getting a little off topic here. Let me bring things back front and center here for us. But the number one thing that I see most people have trouble with is they have no vision for what they want their lives to look like. And this is, in my opinion, the number one cause of us, not finishing projects and not seeing all of our efforts through to the end, and we end up with half-assed products, or we end up spending making poor choices when it comes to our investments. But if we have a solid vision for what we know we want our lives to look like, we can be smart about our decisions. We can say no to many more things and concentrate on those core things that are going to build our lives to fulfill that vision that we talk about. And then from there, we can break that vision down into some quarterly or yearly goals. And then from there, we build out our habits, our routines, our systems, so that we can stay on track, that we don't get distracted, so that we can go really, really deep into those activities that we know are going to move the needle towards our vision. And we don't have to worry about all this extraneous, I'll just call it bullshit, that's going on all around us. And we can simply stay focused. There's a couple tactics that I like to employ to build upon what I just mentioned. Number one is I like to time block. You can read about that in depth in Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. But the basic premise is you chunk your time into, at least what I do, is I chunk my time into hour-long time blocks so that I can compress the amount of time that I allot myself to a given task, so that I can focus on those 20% of micro tasks that are going to yield that 80 to 90% results that I'm going to get. But one of the things that I also do, and this is the second tactic that I will mention, is that every Sunday night I sit down and plan out my weeks. I've actually backed off of my daily planning routine and try and get my week planned out, sit down for a solid block of time, and do all of my planning for the week all in one chunk. And then each day during the week, I simply review and make some minor revisions based on the current state of what I have going on, anything that popped up and whatnot. It's really easy. But anyways, let me back up. And the key tactic that I wanted to mention for my weekly planning process is that I brainstorm all the activities that I've got going on. I check my calendar for appointments, etc. And then what I do is I group like tasks together and do them all at once. The most common thing is running around doing errands. If you got to go to the grocery store, then the pharmacy, then get some gas, and then etc. Group all that together so you make one trip out the door and one trip back in the door. Maybe you have a onesie twosie that you have to go out and get something emergent or something you might have forgot. But anyways, enough on all that. So just to summarize, 2 quick tactics for you to take away from this talk that I'm giving right now are time blocking and task grouping. Those 2 things go hand in hand and allow you to concentrate your efforts on like or similar tasks so that you can maximize your efficiency. And the last thing that I want to mention is to consider delegating many of your tasks. And the way that I like to think about this is, what's your effective hourly rate? If your effective hourly rate is $200 an hour, you should consider delegating tasks to a virtual assistant that is willing to do it for 10, maybe 7, or even $5 an hour. What's your time worth? If you can delegate tasks, and I know you may be hesitant about spending money, and there may be a little bit of a lag time training this person up to do that specific task, but if you consider a certain task to be worth $10 an hour, and you consider your time worth $200 an hour, you have no business doing that task. So I encourage you to start adopting that mindset and consider what your time is worth. All right, guys, so that's all I've got for you. Those are a few ways that, or strategies that I like to employ to help focus my efforts so that I can go deep into everything that I decide to break off and chew. And before I sign off here, I just wanted to make a quick announcement here. I'm proud to announce that starting April 1st, I'm going to be running what I'm terming the Discipline Deep Dive 4-week course. It's a very intensive course that I've designed. It's the fundamental tools, strategies, tactics, routines, systems that I use on a day-to-day basis that allow me to stay disciplined and stay focused, like I just talked about here on this particular show. It's, like I said, it's a 4-week course. We'll meet once a week via Zoom. We'll also have a private Facebook group with some challenges. There'll be some reading assignments, some practical assignments that will push you to build the discipline that you need to achieve the things that you want to achieve in your life. If this is something that you need, I encourage you to reach out to me, Kenyon, Kenyon, .Zitzka, Zitzka, @gmail.com. Just shoot me an email, and we'll get you set up with everything that you need. And I encourage you to jump in early. I've actually already had a couple people jump in, even though this is the first time I'm formally announcing it. So I know this is going to fill up quick. I'm not going to open this up to everybody. It's going to be a very limited number. I want to make sure that this stays intimate so that we forge some bonds within this course as well. So I encourage you to jump in early, and the earlier you jump in, we'll get some things going before April 1st as well. So the sooner you jump in, the greater return on investment you're going to get. And speaking of investment, this is going to be there is going to be an investment involved with this, but I want to make this affordable to as many folks as possible. It is $139 for the 4-week course, and I look forward to seeing as many of you in there as possible. And also, don't forget, if you want to connect with me one-on-one for free, I'm offering 15-minute strategy sessions with as many people who are interested in them. Just go to kenyonzitzka.com/call, CALL, and take you right to my calendar, set that up. All right, guys, have a kick-ass weekend. I'll talk at you later.